Shanks reacts to that one.
Disclaimer, this is
What?
not a massive
I'm watching.
update for the unemployed. These are serious allegations, and, you know, as much as you guys want a meme on it, we're gonna keep the jokes to a minimum here. No Terex, no
Okay.
nothing. Hello, I want to bring to light some very important stuff involving Florescent and her disgusting actions from the past year. Trigger warning. Mentions of and sexual. We got a lot to go over here. The first, the story, then the text allegations, as well as Florescent's response, so stay tuned. Hello, this post is to bring light what Ava Florescent has done to one of the most important people in my life. Someone who deserves justice for what has happened and deserves the closure of people knowing what happened.
Okay.
I am not doing this for internet points or clouts or impressions.
Okay,
I honestly do not give a f*** about
Sorry,
the
WestJett,
person.
we read all
If you
of
don't know
this
who
already.
ever surprising. She is an awfully vile person and very disgusting. If you don't know who Florescent is, well, Florescent is one of the best game changer players in Valorant who's currently playing for a team called Apex, and quite good player, to be honest. This goes a lot deeper than what's in this doc, but due to personal choice from the girl that will not come to light now, she's taking time to compile a lot of the things to back her so wishes. Nothing here is
We already
concrete.
read all this?
The only reason information is being withheld is because the victim needs time to properly assess and what she wants to make public and what should come forward. iPhone? I mean, I had to say, what kind of a name is Brick? Like, what are you, girls' identity private still?
Okay,
Not to be that guy, but what kind of a name is Brick? Like, what are you, building a house? Jailbreaking an iPhone? I mean, I had to say it. It was a weird name. Of course, this is not important. On January 3rd, 2024, Brick, the girl, was sexually assaulted by Ava Florescent,
Brick
and
is a
this is
crazy
a
name,
recollection
I'm
of the
not gonna
events
lie.
told from my perspective. And I double-checked
Kidding,
everything to make
kidding,
sure it was a
kidding. Don't
one-to-one
kid somebody.
recollection from the girl that just reiterated from my perspective. Right off the bat, a bit strange that it isn't the victim themselves coming out, because why would you kind of like put yourself in legal danger for somebody else? But maybe I'm just a piece of shit and I need to learn about empathy from iDubbbz. On January 3rd, 2024,
true.
Brick went to Ava's house. Brick knew it would end up being sexual because they had talked about it days prior, and Brick had
by
stated
Brick.
not wanting to do anything sexual, to which Ava then stated, "Alright, then, I don't want to see you." In response, but despite not wanting it to be sexual, she still opted to go. And Florescent is actually because she just wanted to be with Ava. If for some reason you're living under a rock and didn't know, Florescent is actually transgender, and I think the name Ava and transgenders just doesn't mix well. It's a, you know, very tragic name to share. I don't think the conversation should be spearheaded around the person's gender either. It should be, you know, focused on the allegations, but, you know, I digress. Rick told me that when she got to Ava's house, Ava had changed her phone password so she couldn't access it. Ava had claimed it was because she didn't want Brick to know where she lived.
Damn.
Ava had Ubered her there. Brick
this
brushed
part-
it
this
off,
part
and
was
soon
cooked.
after, Ava started initiating sexual things, to which Brick had
Why is
consented and
WestJett
participated
reading it
in.
like a new
Not to be a
voice?
dick, but this is written on like 3rd grade level, so bear with me, guys. If I stutter, it's not my fault. It
Facts.
ended up turning into them having sex, and she told me that she was in a lot of physical pain the whole time. Kept telling Ava that it hurt, and Ava just chose to ignore it.
Okay.
After Ava finished, Brick went to clean herself up and noticed that she was bleeding. She then went back into her room, too embarrassed to say anything, and they took a nap together. So far, so good. You know, consented, participated, doesn't look too bad. Brick told me that she woke up to her mom calling her phone, telling her that she kept telling Ava that she urged to regret. She also bleeding from the sex of a dick.
we all
Shouldn't you
read
kind of go? She knew it would be too painful. Not to be a dick, and honestly, I don't care if you do think I'm a dick. Shouldn't you kind of go to the police if the allegations are of this kind of nature and magnitude? Rookie numbers, you know, you gotta get these numbers up. I'm not saying her story's true, nor am I discrediting it. This isn't my hill to die on, and, you know, quite frankly, I personally don't care about either party. I cannot stress how badly I did not want sex, and I just wanted to go home, and I made it all of that very clear to her. This is what Brick told me whilst explaining everything
I
to
can't
me, and it
take
was very
WestJett's
clear
voice
from the initial
seriously when I'm
text she
like,
had sent me after
why
it
is he
happened,
reading like
and then she
this?
posted a bunch of
Hi, I'm
screenshots,
Let,
which
thank you
we'll
for the
check out and then
fucking
go to the
guy, I'm Let.
conclusion after. I
Hi,
saw
I'm
her.
Let.
It was fine.
So
She
does
was
Flo
nice.
still
It was the
have a
same as
beak?
always. I don't know. I guess I came...
Okay, we already read all of
with
this. I feel like
wanted
deja
me-
vu right now. Oh my god, ads!
She was begging me to have sex before I left, and saying if we didn't do stuff, she would try to we can't repeat it. And I feel so good. Get just
Okay, WestJett, can I
once
hear
again,
your
these
takes?
upset me to get a reaction because I guess it makes her feel good. Once again, these are serious allegations. This ain't some kind of petty like Zelsa said the N-word funny drama. This is like some crazy stuff. Ava ignored Brick's efforts to make her stop, and soon after, Ava ended up on means. But why is it so powerless against Ava? Now, I'm not victim blaming by any means, but why is somebody else coming out with this story? Ava then told her that 25 minutes had gone by and that they could have been done by now. Brick didn't know what to do because her phone was locked. Dude, her phone was literally bricked and had no way of contacting her mom unless she called her first. Brick felt so trapped and kept refusing until Ava asked her if she didn't want to disappoint Ava. And in that moment, Brick realized she had no power, and there was truly nothing she could do besides give up.
Stop skipping,
So
bro.
nearly
We've
30 minutes of rejecting and
this
resisting her
many
sexual
times
advances,
now.
Brick gave up and let Ava do what she wanted. Brick never gave verbal consent and was consistently saying no and resisting it. After that, she let Brick leave. The person also added this to their initial Twitter expose, saying that something they would like to add is the story never stopped here, and Ava consistently lied about the girl to her friends and other people, constantly twisting the narrative to try and paint her out as a liar.
So the last one was
there's
just
only
posted.
2 more minutes in the video. I kind of want to just...
Okay. I do.
An awful human. This carried on for most of 2024 and partially into 2025, and it's a part of why it took a while for anything to come out publicly. This guy just asks Grok to explain the tweet and document it in Fortnite terms, and you know, if you want the hoot and the holler, you can read it yourself. The mouthpiece for the victim said that more things, you know, if you want...
Okay, what
want the hoot and the holler, you can read it yourself. The mouthpiece for the victim said that more things will come forward, and you know that generally the rhetoric around this was interesting, and it's just so sad that people are going to use this as a way to promote transphobia while there is a bigger issue at hand. I hope Brick is okay and recovering, and holy fark, this is horrible to make someone endure. I mean, valid point. This ain't about the person being trans or not, you know what I mean? It ain't about the pronouns they choose. This is a far more serious thing. Again, I gotta emphasize, not every trans person ever's a rapist, not every black person's a thief, and not every white person loves mayonnaise, other than me. Didn't you all get warned?
Wait,
that
what?
Black person, more serious thing. Again, I gotta emphasize, not every trans person ever's a rapist, not every black person's a thief, and not every white person loves mayonnaise, other than me. Didn't you all get warned that predators play dress up and then they just talk about the Catholic Church? And it's just like the same argument and conversation every time. Anyway, let's check out what Florescent's response was. I am aware of the allegations that were made against me and take them very seriously. However, I strongly deny any and all accusations of SA. I'm currently treating this matter with my full attention, and I'm also exploring immediate legal assistance to help determine the best way for me to proceed, both in determining what I can share publicly and how best to go about clearing my name. I will provide an update when capable. I wish I could provide evidence for the public to see immediately, but I have been asked to refrain from sharing at this time for my own safety. I ask that you please respect the other's party privacy at this time. Sounds very legalese, and you betcha Saul was called. Well, let's be honest, what else do you expect being said in this situation? Like, Your Honor, I didn't do nothing. I think that's a troll, but this is crazy. Getting a lawyer just makes you seem so guilty, bro. Just admit it. Yeah, getting professional and legal advice while you are an
Does getting a lawyer make you look guilty, or... It's like, no. What?
He's being sarcastic, saying that like Florescent has to do that.
No, I'm saying like this tweet.
That person meant in like sarcastic way. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, no, okay, I'm reading at the front. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Influencer with as much pull and attention that Florescent has is her admitting she's guilty, bro. Trust. I mean, is it really a shocker that the Valorant community has the smoothest brains in the room? Like, getting a lawyer does not automatically mean you're guilty. What? Florescent better get suspended for way longer than Sinatra did. If Riot wants to stay, like, you know, morally consistent or something, I feel like a suspension is warranted. Once again, it's a he said, she said, or maybe a they said situation. And unlike the broad Valorant community, I've been given the gift of triple-digit IQ, and I'm not going to jump to any conclusions regarding of a side or even show any bias, because quite frankly, I don't.
Why are you laughing? I don't know. I just fucking... Connor just messaged me something in Discord.
I didn't message anything.
Okay. Alright. Yellow guy with hands up! Yellow guy hands up!
Care, and I'm not gonna use this opportunity to be transphobic either, because again, I don't care. Well, let's be honest, I just don't want to get sued or demoted.
So the video really didn't explain anything because